Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Sally. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, my darling?
I'm super excited about our really cool focus today about slang. Are you up for it?
I'm super up for it. I'm well up for it, let's
Are
say.
you well up for it?
Shall we do a little introduction just to let everybody know who we are, where we come from, things like that?
Yes. So, Sally, where are you from?
My name is Sally. I am from Birmingham originally, but I've lived in Padova for about 4 years now. And you?
Oh, I'm from Ireland. I'm from the southwest, beautiful city called Limerick.
Very nice. And how long have you lived where you live, Serena?
I've been living in Rome now for 5 years, but 10 years in Italy.
Wow, that's amazing. Why did you leave
that's pretty
Italy?
cool.
What for?
Oh, obviously, because of the food and the wine.
Yeah. It's not bad, is it? It's not bad.
And the
Not a bad
beaches.
life.
Yeah,
Oh.
and the mountains, and the people, and everything that comes along with it.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's a good
Especially
deal,
right
isn't
now.
it?
I'm looking, I can see the sun just hitting my face, and I think, oh, it's a good job I'm not back in Birmingham where it's raining. So, oh, we've got our first commenter. Oh, and look, it's the Director of Studies of Milan Meravigli. Good morning.
Yes,
How are you, Jordi?
hello.
Nice to see you today.
Good morning, Milano. It's really fun how we can do this and we can interact with the whole of Italy and also our colleagues. I'm surprised everyone's up so early.
I know, it's very, very early. I did ask my brothers and sister to watch, but they said, 8 o'clock in the morning, maybe not.
Oh, well, I kind of like put a sneaky post on Facebook. Sorry.
If you want to, if you feel like it.
So what are you going to do for the day? Anything special?
Today, I have lots and lots of meetings, and that's about it today. Just lots and lots and lots of meetings. It's going to be super fun.
I see. Wonderful.
Working from home life, lots of meetings.
Yeah, that's true.
Everything we needed to do could have been a meeting.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about something really fun today, and I think we'll get a lot out of it, seeing that you're from the UK and I'm from Ireland, and we've got so many differences between our language, English. So I thought today would be an excellent opportunity to talk about it. So yeah. So how would you say hi in Birmingham? Do you have another word, something that only Brummies use?
I don't think it's specific to Birmingham, but something that used to confuse me a lot when I was a kid was instead of saying hi, you'd say, all right.
Right.
So usually accompanied with a sort of nod of the head. And everybody you would see in the street would just kind of go, all right. And for a very long time, I thought that meant they're actually interested in getting to know me. And I was like, oh, I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing? No, it's a group. We'll just walk right by.
Okay. Yeah, in Ireland we have a few. I think in Limerick, I don't know whether it's isolated just to Limerick, but in Limerick it would be like we just go around and go, what's it? You good?
Which again is not a question, it's a greeting. I don't care how you are. I could not care less. But I'm just going to greet you with a question.
Or we'd end up saying, grand you are.
I like that one. Do it again.
That's fun. Grand you are.
Grand you are. Love it.
I think up in Dublin they would just go ska, or what's the ska?
Ska. How do you spell that? Hang on, spell that and I'll write it down.
I don't know. I've never actually written it before. I reckon it's like C or SKA, really, to be honest. It's just something we say.
You're going to have to do the writing.
True that. So we would say, what's the ska?
What's the ska? It's like, what's the crack, I suppose. I
Pardon?
like that, SKA. What's the crack? That's the one they use in
Yeah,
Liverpool.
also, when we say, how's the crack?
How's the crack? And the crack is mighty. And if the crack is mighty, it's a good day, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm not sure I'm writing these words right because I've never actually written them.
Yeah, C-R-A-I-C.
So, but yeah, crack.
The first time I saw that word written down, I was like, what's a crake? And I spent a long time looking up crake because I thought it was some kind of weird sort of farming tool.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, exactly. But it's not like it's like the first time I think I said it to someone outside of the UK or Ireland, they thought I was asking for drugs. I was like, no, they were very confused. It was
Not for
like,
drugs,
I
not
don't
for
I just
farm
do
equipment.
drugs. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
Just how's it going? That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
So, what does slang mean? Let's start there. What does slang mean?
Slang. Oh, it's like a dialect.
I would consider. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I think slang is more like informal speech because dialects. It depends on where you stand with dialects, but a dialect could also be considered as another language. And a slang is a very, very informal way of saying things. So if I think about, for example, you live in Rome and I live in Veneto, and they have their own specific dialects, which are not technically incorrect, but they're not necessarily informal either.
Yeah. It's
So I
fun.
think it's an informal
An
mode of
informal.
speech.
Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, you wouldn't go into. Can you imagine going into an office? Like, let's say you're working for, I don't know, Bristol Myers Squibb, one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world, and you're walking into a formal meet and you go, yo, what's the sky?
All right. Yeah. Not like
That wouldn't go down very well, would it?
possibly not. No.
So, right, shall we
Okay.
get started? Yeah,
Sure.
what do you think? Let's have a look.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, so in this focus activity, slang, greetings, responses, and descriptive words using slang, words, and phrases. Are you ready?
I was born ready, Serena.
I love to hear that. Okay, so Sally, please read.
Slang. What is slang? Now, this is one of my pet peeves, and this is something I always tell my students. At the beginning of words, S's are always soft. So I don't want to hear any slang. It is a soft S. So it's slang, nice and long. Okay, slang. What is slang? When is slang appropriate? And when is slang inappropriate?
Very good. Okay, I'm just making a note so the students can follow. Soft S at the beginning.
So I think we've already answered a couple of these,
We have, yeah.
but we can go through them. And so, Serena, as a little recap,
Yeah.
what is slang for you?
Oh God, slang for me. Slang for me, I quite like slang. I quite enjoy it. So for me, it's enjoyable to be honest, because after having the opportunity to travel for so many years, it kind of becomes more important than usually, your everyday proper language. So if you get to learn the ins and outs and of different types of slang, you're able to have more fun and communicate even more so with other people rather than just proper people from, I don't know, professions that require proficiency, doctors and lawyers. At least you can connect with everyday people.
The nice thing about slang is that it's super creative and it gives you a chance to be very
Yeah.
creative with language. So even if you're not an expert or a C2 level speaker of a certain language, you can still play around with slang, which is something that I really enjoy. So, for example, when I speak Italian, I tend to be quite informal, and I like to use kind of different words in dialect, and I like to use different informalities because I think it's a way of people see that I've studied the language and that I've read the language, and so that they feel like a connection with me, perhaps.
Yeah. It kind of brings you both on the same level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Connects. I think it connects.
Exactly.
Yeah, because again, no hierarchy really.
Exactly. You're all the same. If you're using dialect, if you're using slang, if you're using informal speech, you are all, it shows that you're all from an area and you have that connection together. And it doesn't matter whether you're from that area, born and bred, or you've chosen to make that place your home, but it sort of brings everybody together. So I like that aspect.
Yeah. Is there anyone else in the group that wants to add something to what slang is for them? Feel like it's just you and me that are speaking. Sally, let's involve someone.
I mean,
Anyone out
that's how most of our conversations go, Serena. So I don't
there?
know. And if
Well,
anybody else wants to join in, that would be great.
yes, that would be great. Drop us a comment in the chat. We'd be happy to discuss it. So, when would you say it's least appropriate?
So I was thinking about this. I find slang inappropriate, especially in a business setting, and not necessarily even in a meeting. Although in an interview, I think it would be inappropriate. But in a meeting with someone you know well and some colleagues that you've worked with for a long time, and there's quite a lot of trust, I don't think it's a problem. However, when writing specifically, so I write a lot of follow-ups for meetings, I write a lot of minutes for meetings, I would find it very inappropriate to use slang, because slang, while it's spoken, people can understand the nuances, people can understand the intonation, the meaning behind it, whereas if it's written, it could be misconstrued.
You said something important there about the intonation. I think in either way, either in slang or not, intonation does do a lot of its work by itself.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, when you're reading a text message from somebody, you can infer what the person is trying to say, but such little things like putting a full stop at the end of the sentence might make it serious. Or if there is an emoji, it makes it not serious. Or if there isn't an emoji, it means the person is mad at you. And there's so
We're
much
so complicated, aren't we?
to a text message. Whereas if you can hear someone and see someone, you know what they mean. Usually, you don't have to wade through the quagmire of meaning. I suppose.
Yes, that is true.
So when you're writing emails, specifically writing emails, writing letters, writing more formal messages, it's important to avoid slang, because everybody then understands what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. There's one important point that, especially in Ireland, is that I don't know if you've seen it. There was a video on YouTube of this Polish girl who was living in Ireland, and basically she was working in Ireland, so she was quite settled. And what happened was she was living with an Irish girl, and one day she turns around to her Irish housemate and says, "Oh, I had a problem today at work." And he said, "What?" And she goes, "Every time I ask someone to do something, they never do it." And they said, "Why?" Her housemate said, "Why? What did you ask? It depends on what you asked and the intonation." And she's like, "Well, every time I said, 'Will you do this for me?' they would say, 'I will, yeah.' And nothing happens." And I think it's a great example of Ireland. If you go to Ireland and someone turns around to you, maybe you're asking them something or you need help or something, and they turn around using intonation, body language, and the slang, it can be extremely confusing. So if I say to you, "Sally, if you ask me for a cup of tea, can you ask me?"
How would you like me to ask you? Formally or informally?
Formally.
Please, would you make me a cup of tea? Please, with two
Yes.
pleases, I think, because I'm English.
Yes, I will.
So.
Yes, I will. Now, if I say, "Yes, I will," no problem. That is okay.
Sure.
That is fine. You know you're going to get a cup of tea. But ask me in an informal way.
Make us a cup of tea, love.
Yeah, is that how you say it in Birmingham?
Well, my family don't drink tea. But, theoretically, yes. Make us a cup of tea, love. Or
All
can I
right.
get a cup of tea?
Okay. Then I would turn around and go, "I will, yeah."
And it's
What's going to happen?
more a sarcastic way of saying it. It's sort of saying, I could make you a cup of tea, but I choose not to, because I didn't like
Yeah,
the way
it's kind of like, "You're not going to get it. It's get up, lazy bum." So this girl had difficulty in everything she was doing because everyone around her kept going, "I will, yeah." And she was very confused. Yeah.
So we got a message from Geordie, and he says, "You mind making me a cuppa?" Which I really like. For you, Geordie, I will always make you a cup of tea anytime you ask.
Hello. Hi, Jordy. Hi, Mr. Rasta.
Oh, hello, PT
How would
Rasta.
how would you ask for a cup of tea then? Can you write us in the chat? How would you ask for a cup of tea? Because I know that in London, or like stick the car? No, Kazi is bathroom. Rosie, make me a cup of Rosie.
Rosie
Yeah,
Lee. Rosie
yeah,
Lee is Cockney rhyming slang for tea.
yeah, exactly. It's like, isn't that crazy? How are you supposed to know what Rosalie is if you're not from there? It's amazing. So let's go for a cup of Rosalie. I love it.
We just call a cuppa. So when you say a cuppa in English, it's inferred that you mean a cup of tea. So it would
Yeah.
never be a cup of coffee.
Pop on the kettle. Thanks, Emma.
Hello, Emma.
Hello.
Emma,
Yeah,
it's nice to see you.
yeah, so pop the kettle on. Or would we use like stick the kettle on?
I like that. Pop or stick.
Yeah. Pop and stick. They're fun words that we would use. Anything else?
Because they both mean put, which is such a small word in and of itself. But we're using pop and stick. Why not?
Yeah.
Complicate our lives.
Yes, it's kind of like the verb get. The verb of all use. Okay, so let's have a look here for different ways that we can use greetings.
Yes, please. Oh,
Okay.
TT Rasta. Hi, Sally. Hi, back to you. I hope you're having a good day.
He's one of our big fans. Okay, so how are you, Sally?
I'm grand.
Oh, you stole it! I love that. Where did you learn that?
I learned that from a lovely colleague of mine. She's from Ireland. She's got big red hair. No idea where I met her.
Not today. Okay, so it's I'm Grandal. There we go.
Oh, I like doll. That's nice.
Yeah,
I think
sometimes like love. I think love or doll.
doll is a term of endearment, isn't it? And
Yeah.
terms of endearment are very different and diverse all around the UK, all around Ireland. We have lots of different words. So the one that we use in Birmingham is bab, which is short for baby. Bab.
Yeah,
You're right, bab. And we also use love, darling, duck, babe, hen. Hen is a nice one. Yeah, duck is from Nottingham. Hey up, me duck.
All right, my duck. I love that. Have any of you got ones to add? I can see you watching us carefully. Can you add anything into your comments?
I could do more in Italian because the only ones I ever use in Italian are tesoro and stella. They're the only ones I ever use.
Can I tell you of a fun experience when I first started coming? When I was first here in Italy and I started working, I was living in Viterbo, which is in the north of Rome. It's in the north of Lazio, and all of the people there, they were basically saying, "Hey, Chicha, come stai, Chicha?" And I was so offended because, like, I was like, "Why are they all calling me fatty?" I'm not fat. Why are they calling me fatty? That's so rude. And I think it took me a while before I could actually ask someone like, "Why are you calling me fatty?" But I ended up it passed like maybe 2-3 weeks, and then I finally asked, and then they told me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so foolish." It's like now I use it. Hey, chicha, and I love it. Hey, fatty.
We've got a couple of comments saying, I had a friend from Northern Ireland that called everyone pet. I like that.
Oh, pet. That is a very Irish word. Yes.
And Emma's saying, what's up, Chuck? Which is that's from Northern England. That's really nice. Chuck. I like that one very
love
much.
that one. Yeah, actually, that's nice.
I used to live
in London. Giza.
Giza.
Right, Giza.
I don't know if it's a term of endearment necessarily, but it's quite good fun. I used to live in Japan, and in Japan there are a lot of Brazilians. And in Brazil, one of the terms of endearment, it also means beautiful, is linda. So you can use it for boys or girls, so lindo, linda. And we used to go out partying, and our friends from Brazil would kind of come up to us and go, Linda, Linda, Linda. I was like, it's not Linda. Why do you keep calling me Linda? It took me a really long time to realize that it meant beautiful, which was quite sweet.
Let's have a look at our greetings. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so. Okay, here we've got so many. Maybe we've seen some of them. So can you read them, Sally?
Would you like to read one at a time, or would you like me to read all of the greetings and you read the responses?
We can read them all.
Okay,
If
sure.
you read greetings, yeah.
I'll do greetings. Okay. Hey, what's up? How's it going? What are you up to? What's new? All right. You need to do the head. It's important. All right.
All right. Oh, I remember East 17. All right. All right. Okay. Nothing, not much, not bad. Just chilling, just hanging out. Same old, same old. Right. So we've basically mentioned all of those, I think. What's new? Ah, that's one. What's new?
I like what's new. I think it's a nice expression because it's sort of, you're asking, that is genuinely a question. You are genuinely asking somebody how they are. So
Yeah.
as opposed to, all right, in Birmingham, which means, hey, I like what's new because people are genuinely interested in finding out your news, finding out what's going on with you. That's something I quite like.
Yeah. Also, another one that that's not there, which I often find that when I ask people, they never understand it. It's like, how's life?
How is life? I think
Yeah,
I think it depends on where you're coming from because as an English teacher, I would find that a bit of a deep and philosophical question. So how's life? Well, how can I define life? Can I use a third conditional in this question? How is life today?
We also have like, let's see. Oh, I flipped the chat. There we go.
That's okay. It's still good morning, beautiful people. The people are still beautiful. So
yeah. So how are things? Yeah. I quite like that phrase. And I think it's very genuine when you ask someone, so how are things? You know.
Yeah, you genuinely want to know. It's nice.
Yeah. That's another one that I find that puts the conversation into difficulty when I ask them because they go into panic because they don't understand what I'm asking. But it's like, then once I say, how are things? Things would represent things in general, life, work, energy, whatever it is. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
I do enjoy some of these responses. Would you like to take just chilling or just hanging out? Which one would you like to explain?
I'd like to use grand. I think as an Irish woman, that's probably the most overused one. We use it for everything.
It's a very, very useful word. I like just chilling. I never use it, but I like the idea. I'm not cool enough to use just chilling. But to chill in English is to relax, to be calm, to be sociable. There's not much going on. You're feeling pretty good. And so if you're just chilling, you're just, at one with the world.
Yeah, definitely. So excuse me, popped on there. Right, let's have a look at these sentences here. Number one, how are you? How many of you are there? Let us know. How are you doing today? Then we got, it's a pleasure to see you. What have you been doing? 3, I'm well. I haven't done anything new or exciting recently. I'm fine. I'm not doing anything in particular. Right. Is there anything that stands out for you, Sally, that when you ask people, how are you? What for you is the most common answer in Italy from Italians when they want to have just basic conversation? How are you?
So most Italians will always sort of say, they'll sort of go, insomma dai. That's what I always get, which kind of, I guess that would roughly translate as like, I'm okay, I'm all right.
Yeah.
And I find it very interesting because as a Brit or an Irish person, I mean, I'm stereotyping here, but for the most part, those of us up in Northern Europe, we'll always say fine. Our leg could be hanging off and we would still say we were fine.
I'm fine. Kind of like Ross and Friends.
Yeah, or grand, as you would say in Ireland.
Yeah,
fine
in Ireland,
and grand.
Grand is the bread and butter of our language.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter what's happening. Your dog could have died this morning. You could have, I don't know, lost a limb in a threshing accident. Who knows? But you're always fine. Always.
What about when you ask them how are you doing, and they say you know, so and so. How are you? You say, oh, so and so. How can you correct that?
Well, I don't like so and so. We would never really use that in English. First of all, it works out. It would be so, but we don't really use that very much in English. I would probably just correct them and say, unless you really, really mean to tell people how you're feeling, unless it's a close friend or relative, just say fine.
Yeah, just say fine. That's one of my pet peeves, actually, when someone says, I'm so. I'm like, you have so many beautiful adjectives in English that you could use right now. Fine, great. Let's sit down. Let's have a chat.
BT Rasta has written so and so, very Italian style. Exactly. It's very Italian. So and so. No, you're fine. Unless you're with someone who genuinely wants to hear it, you're fine. Most people, it's a greeting. They don't actually care.
They don't actually say, okay, let me hear about how your mom and dad and son and your daughters and your nephews and your cousins and blah, 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 blah. No, we don't have time for that.
No. Got a busy life. I've got a coffee to get to.
Yeah, I've got some tea to make. Sorry, I have to wash my hair.
So let's try and translate these sentences into slang. Okay, so Serena, would you like to take the first one? Good morning, how are you?
Oh, grand, Sally, grand. Could be better though.
Okay, so how would you say good morning, how are you in slang?
Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I liked the response.
I was distracted. My mother just popped in to say hello.
See. Hello, Gillian. Good morning to you.
I've got the whole family on here. It's crazy.
That's nice. Get them all in.
So, good morning, Sally. Are you grand?
Okay. All right. How's it going? Shall I try number 2?
Yeah.
Let's do this one. Okay, so number 2. It's a pleasure to see you. What have you been doing lately? I'd probably say something like, I don't know about it's a pleasure to see you. I'd probably say like, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
I love that.
And
Say
what
it Say it again.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
I love that. Sight for.
Oh, Gillian's written, good morning, how you cutting? I love that. That's really
nice. That's exactly. Thank you, Mum. That's very Limerick.
I love it.
That's like slang, like pure slang from my city. It's like, how's she cutting?
I love that. How's it going? How's she doing? And then what have you been doing lately? I'd probably say something like, what are you up to? How's it going? What's new? What's the crack?
Yeah. She's cutting grand.
She's cutting grand. Oh, I love that.
Grand is in everywhere.
That's so specific. She's cutting grand. If you hadn't explained that to me, I wouldn't know. Try number 3.
Number 3, right. Oh, I'm grand. No, what would we say? I'm grand. No ska.
No ska.
I'm grand, no ska.
Is ska countable or uncountable? Out of interest. Not one ska?
It would be uncountable. It would be uncountable.
Yeah. Probably sensible.
Gillian, could you give us another word, another way to say haven't done anything exciting recently in Limerick slang?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything we would say. I haven't been doing anything new. Just hanging out, just chilling.
Just chilling, yeah.
Just chilling. Shooting the breeze.
There we go. Shooting the breeze. Excellent. We love that. Let's put that in there. Shooting the breeze. There we go.
I like shooting the breeze.
Oh, excuse me. I forgot to put the ing the apostrophe.
That's okay. That's all right.
Shooting.
Shooting the breeze. How about number 4?
Number 4. Yeah, again, limited. I'm quite limited. It all goes down to I'm grand.
Grand. I mean, I just use I'm fine.
No bother.
So for me, no bother.
No bother.
I'm not doing anything in particular. I'm fine. I'm not doing anything in particular. I'm fine. I'd probably just say like, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
I like
lazy day.
the use of just having a lazy. I like the use of fine and grand because they just sort of, you can use them as questions, you can use them as answers, you can use them as statements, you can use them as sort of ways of being.
Yeah, they like just set the tone, right?
How are you? It's fine.
Yeah.
Grand.
Grand. Okay, so next, let's have a look. Right.
Ooh.
Slang adjectives. Oh, I love this. I think like that's my favorite. My favorite parts of the language is adjectives and phrasal verbs. I just love it. How about you, Sally?
Oh, which part of the language? I love an adjective. I do like a good, strong emotional verb.
Oh, what's your favorite?
Like plummet, I think. I love the plosive of plummet.
Yeah.
I like that it's such a dramatic verb. It's so extra.
Yeah.
Did you drop? No, I plummeted. Oh, all right.
I plummeted. Okay, so Sally, can you read the blue adjectives, please?
Sure. I can only see up to sick, but I will do my best until then. So I've got bummer, awesome, dodgy, wicked, sucks, sick, brilliant, and crap. And remember my rule about soft S's at the beginning of words, okay?
Very soft. Okay, so let's put them into positive and negative. Right, so bummer. Can we put in a sentence? Does anyone know how to use bummer in a sentence? Let's see if anyone's awake. I hope you all had your coffee.
Yeah, this is a very early, an early time for asking people to put bummer in a sentence.
Bit too optimistic. So bummer. Would you say people would use that in the UK often, or is it more of an American adjective?
I think it's an American expression. I have used it, and I've heard people use it, but it's definitely more of an American thing.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't think I've actually, maybe I have used it, but it's not something that I would choose to use. Maybe if it comes out, it would just naturally come out. Awesome, right. Would we use that? Awesome? I would never use awesome.
It's not my favorite. It's not my choice.
I just get a feeling that I have to be a surfer if I'm going to use awesome.
I do use it, but I think I use it in its original sense. So when something inspires awe, I would use awesome. So I think that, for example, the train station in Milan is awesome because it is imposing.
It's impressive, yeah.
But I don't think I would use it the way that it's used here as slang.
Yeah. What about, let's see, sucks?
I think I would use it, but I don't use it very often. It's not my choice.
I like the word sucks. That sucks. Or wicked. Wicked, I think of London. When I lived in London for many years, I think of the word wicked. That's wicked, man.
I had a friend from New York. She was from Buffalo, actually, New York, and she used to use wicked a lot, and she used wicked as an adjective. So she would say things like, "Oh, he's wicked loyal," or like, "It's wicked good," which I quite liked.
Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? Or sick, again, that for me is quite London too. Like if I hear someone going, "That's sick," I'd be like, "Oh, that person's from London, South London."
We used that quite a lot in Birmingham. I didn't use it particularly, but it was quite common in Birmingham when I was growing up. That's sick. Or wicked sick. That could
because it could be like positive and negative, that word.
Yes, I mean, if you talk about like I'm sick, then it would be a negative adjective. So, for example, I have a cold today, I'm sick today. But if you're talking about something else or someone else, that's sick. That would usually be a positive thing.
Yeah, or it could be disgusting too. So is like
True.
you could
That's
use it
true.
like say something is
Could be.
disgusting or something is not good to look at. Or in America, maybe they would say that's gross.
Yes, that
Yeah,
would
it
be a
would
good
be
synonym.
so like, oh, that's gross. And then
Yeah,
you'd be
but
like,
it
oh, that's
so much
sick.
depends on the intonation, though, because if I say like, "Oh, that's sick," it could mean it's disgusting. But if I'm like, "That's well sick," then it's great. So, English is weird, guys. English is weird.
I love it. It's just weird. Love it. Okay, and then we got brilliant.
Brilliant. I love this word. I use it all the time. It's one of my favorites. I would say brilliant over awesome any day.
Yeah, I would too. We have a word in Ireland that maybe it's like from the 80s and 90s. I don't know, but if there were anyone who's listening and they're from Limerick or in Ireland or anywhere that they've been to Limerick, you can maybe confirm. Instead of saying brilliant, we said that's rapid.
Rapid. I like that.
Yeah, that's rapid. So when someone bought a new pair of trainers that were like really super savvy, we said, "Oh, that's rapid."
No, 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 stop. You need to circle back. What does super savvy mean, please? Enlighten
Savvy.
us.
Like
Yeah.
savvy. You don't know
Savvy.
what savvy?
I've seen savvy, but I've never heard it used that way. That's great.
Right, see, it just naturally comes out. I don't know. That's really savvy, something that's like innovative or good.
I love it. So savvy to me because
I believe that's how it's
savvy.
spelled.
I think it's two V's actually,
Maybe.
but I think it's more like it works like sort of like capiche or like, are you savvy? Do you understand? So that's how I would use it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. With
Lovely.
something savvy, that's really good. I've never
Yeah.
heard that one before.
So we
Learning
should
something new every day, aren't we?
savvy. Yeah.
You
um,
missed one of my favorite words on this list, which is dodgy.
oh, yes.
And that is one of my favorites. Dodgy is usually in a negative context, and if something is dodgy, it's not very good, or it's you can't trust it. And you can often use it with well. So well would be the quantifier.
Yeah.
That's well dodgy.
Yeah. I think well could also go with sick. Well, sick.
Yeah,
I've
well
heard it
sick.
before, yeah. Or
But
well said.
that would become a good thing if you use
Yeah.
well sick.
In
So
Ireland, we have a word like well, for example, as a quantifier. We would say that's proper
yes,
or
yes,
pure. We'd say that's
yes.
pure wicked. Everything would be like pure, and then afterwards we put like, so that like that's pure savvy like.
I use proper quite a lot, and I sometimes shorten it to pro. That's pro sick. But I've never used pure. I like pure very much. That's really nice.
Yeah. Okay. So let's put these into categories so we can just get
Sure.
a quick look. So we got bummer, which is negative. We agree with that?
Yes, I agree. Your mother's just written, yes, there are a lot of dodgy people out there. Indeed there are, Gillian. Indeed there are. They're pure dodgy.
Yeah. I'm glad my
And they
mom is.
fully suck.
She can confirm my Limerick slang. So we got dodgy, which was negative. Yeah. What about wicked? We said for positive.
Yeah.
Sucks. Now, is there any of these that you would say could be positive too? Any of the negatives?
No, I would use all of those in a negative way.
Okay.
Crap is one of my favorite words because it's not very rude. It's a little sort of it's a swear word, like a little parolaccia, but very, very, very mild. And I like crap very much because you can almost use it in a meeting. Oh,
Yeah.
that's crap.
Yeah. So I have before we go on to the gap fill, I have a question for you.
Sorry.
In English, if you're not okay, oh, thank you, Emma. The concert has been cancelled. Yep, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
Yeah, that's pure. That was it. That's pure annoying, like.
That pure sucks.
So my question was, in the US, for example, if I say, "How are you?" they're like, "I'm okay," but they're not okay, but they're not great either. They would say the adjective plus ish. I'm okay-ish. Would you use that?
Oh, yes, I love ish. Ish is an excellent suffix. So ish, you can add it to almost any adjective to make it kind of like it functions like quite or abbastanza in Italian. So you can sort of
So
say, how you feeling? Oh, okay-ish. Like, I'm
shall we
good-ish.
go through the adjectives, putting ish on them, for
She's
example?
pretty-ish.
Oh, that's awesome-ish.
Yeah. You feel like, ish.
Oh, that's wicked-ish.
What's the temperature like? Oh, it's warmish. Yeah, it's not that
Or
warm.
you could just say ish, just by
It's
itself.
I love the suffix. It's very evocative. It just kind of functions like a sort of quite-ish.
Yeah, I love it.
That's
So
the
can
gesture
you
for
read
ish.
number 1, and I can go with
Sure.
number 2.
Okay. Number 1, you got the job. That's awesome. That's wicked. That's brilliant. I would say brilliant. You could say
Yeah,
that's sick, but that's very informal.
yeah. My girlfriend just broke up with me. That's crap. Or that's crappy. Some people say crappy.
That's crappy. Yeah.
Or that's, well, we could say dodgy, but depends on the situation. If it's like
Maybe,
something that doesn't add up.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You could say maybe that sucks. That
that
could be that
sucks. That's a
sucks.
bummer. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're better off.
You better come find another one.
You're better off. Okay. Can you do 3?
Yeah, sure. I didn't get the job I interviewed for. That's a bummer. It's okay. The place seemed a bit dodgy anyway.
Right. We have a slang phrase that we'd say in Ireland that if something is dodgy and you know it, but you want to warn the other person discreetly without, making it obvious to other people. If we're talking about this restaurant here, this place, looks dodgy,
Mm-hmm.
and we're amongst a group of friends, but I don't want them to understand, that I don't want you to go, or if
Mm-hmm.
you go just to do something special, I would say be wide.
Be wide.
Be wide, yeah.
Be wide. I like that. I've never heard that one before either. That's lovely.
Yeah.
It's something savvy. Be wide.
It means
I like
to be
that.
careful.
Yeah, like beware.
Yeah. So the coolest thing just happened. I had a coffee with George Clooney. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is so awesome. No, I wouldn't say that.
It depends where you're having coffee with George Clooney, because if you're having coffee with George Clooney in America, you would say it was awesome. If you're having coffee with George Clooney in Italy, where he keeps his summer residence, maybe you would say something different. I would probably
That
say
would be like,
amazing.
I don't think you'd have time to comment on that. You're just like, yeah, whatever.
That's so amazing. That's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's lush.
Oh,
There we go. Isn't that quite
lush.
lush? We like lush. Yeah.
I've never used Lush. I don't feel there was a TV show when I was growing up called Gavin and Stacey, which was one of my favorite TV programs, but it was set in Wales and they loved the word lush and they said the word lush all the time. So it felt a bit inappropriate for me. Okay, let's see how we do.
Was that the actor that was from, bye, Gillian. Bye, Mr. Rasta. Thank you for
Bye,
participating.
guys. Thanks so much.
Have a good coffee.
With George Clooney.
Yeah. So I remember that TV show. Was that the guy that used to act in Only Fools and Horses? Was it the guy who did Rodney?
So no, I don't think so. Gavin and Stacey was James Corden, so he now is a TV presenter in the States, and Matthew Horner.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name. There was a blonde girl in it. I can't remember her name. Joanna Page.
Yes,
maybe?
I remember them now. Yeah, they were nice.
Yeah, it was nice comedy. It was very pleasant to watch. It was very pleasant.
Yeah.
There was Rob Brydon. Rob Brydon was in it as well.
Banter.
Shall we go? Shall we go to?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Banter.
Yes. Epic banter.
Epic banter. That's epic banter. We're having epic banter today.
Yes, we are.
Yes. Okay. Right. So, can you read, please?
Sure. Conversation translation. I wasn't doing anything, so I decided to spend time with my friend James. I walked into his apartment and said, "Hi, how are you?" He said, "I'm fine." He gave me a beer and I said, "Thank you." After we watched the end of a football match on TV. Oh, sorry, I need to reread that. After we watched the end of a football match on TV, we decided to go out to have something to eat instead.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I really liked the epic banter, so I had to put it up.
Epic
Okay.
banter. We
So,
sometimes shorten banter to bants. Epic
bants.
bants.
Bants. All right, we're gonna have some bants.
Yeah.
So, right. To spend time with my friend James. What would we say?
Hang out with, chill out with,
Yeah. Crash with.
crash with. There
I'm
you
going to
go.
crash. To say
Oh,
to crash with my buds.
with my buds.
Yeah. What would you say?
I'd
My
say mate.
mate,
There's a word from London that I love, which is pals. My pals, which I really like.
pals. Yeah.
My pals. I
Mm.
never use that one, but I like that one a lot. My mates, I would say, my chums, if you're feeling very formal, my
Yeah.
chums.
Yeah. Okay, Sally, let's have this conversation. Let's
Sure,
change it about. Now we've come across really nice language, so let's try and go back and use what we spoke about today.
sure.
Okay?
Yeah,
So I wasn't doing anything, so I decided to crash with my buds or crash with my bud, James.
yeah,
Can you do the next one?
sure. I walked into his apartment and I said, hi, how are you? He said, "I'm fine." So I would probably say, I walked into his apartment and I said, "All right, how's it going?" And he said, "All right, I'm easy."
I'm easy. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm easy. Okay. And he gave me a beer and I said, ta.
Ah, tar very much. Yeah,
Yeah, ta.
tar, mate.
After
Cheers,
we watched, pardon?
cheers.
Yeah, cheers. After we watched the end of the football match on TV, we decided to hit the hay. No, not to hit the hay. To hit the hay is something
To go to
different.
bed. Yeah.
We decided to head out and do to munch on something.
Nice. Yeah. So something we used to say, this is really, really informal and shows where I grew up. Have some munch instead. Get some munch.
Get some munchies, yeah.
Yeah. No, just munch.
Oh, to munch. Oh,
The food.
okay.
Yeah,
Munch.
we
Yeah,
decided to go out to get some munch.
get some munch.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
I
pretty
haven't
cool.
used that one in a long time. Hi, Lisa. Good
Hi,
morning.
Lisa. Well, this was so much fun.
It was a proper laugh.
It was proper, wasn't
It was
it? It
a
was,
right laugh, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. It was a proper laugh, and I had good crack. It was good crack
The
speaking
crack
to you.
was mighty.
It
That's
was
true.
mighty,
It was
totally.
mighty.
Like defo, yeah, defo. So,
I had bear laughs with you. There's
pardon?
one we don't. I had bear laughs with you. Bear. That's a
Yeah,
quantifier that we use for really in Birmingham. I had bear laughs.
bear laughs. I love
Yeah,
how in Birmingham you say laughs, like really like laugh.
bear laughs with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's all coming out now. I could do with
It is,
another
isn't it?
hour.
We could do another hour for sure on this because it's like we've warmed up and everything like that. So, if you could give one more piece of slang from Birmingham to any of our wonderful participants, what would you give now?
Oh, Birmingham slang.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to get back to you on that one. You need to. Why don't you come up with something and I'll try and think of something.
Well, if any of you ever go to Limerick, to my city, and someone shouts down the street, "Oi, come here, wanta," you know you're in trouble.
Oh dear, that
Run.
does sound pretty. That sounds pretty angry.
No, it's much more like, it could be your mother that's saying that, come here, wanta, because maybe you ate all the chocolate in the fridge or something.
I'm trying to
All
think
right.
of
I don't know if
my
you. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess what we would use for that I mean, it's very, very common to most of the UK, but we would say something like "Oi, you." We would use
Yeah,
the word "oi" to make especially if we're angry. We'd be like, "Come here, oi, you."
yeah. Or if I say to you, "Hey, Sally, mon, mon,"
Does that mean
it's
like "come on"?
mon means come on. And in
Yeah.
Ireland, in any time there's rugby on TV, if you see Facebook, you're going to see that written, Mon Ireland.
Oh, that's cute. I would probably say something like "get a wiggle on."
With that,
Get
I'm
a
going to
wiggle
go
on.
and have a
Yeah.
nice cup of Rosalie. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you,
Well,
Sally.
thank
Thank
you. Have a lovely day in
everybody.
Pontelungo. Bye,
Yes.
guys.
Thank you,
Nice to
President.
see you all. Thanks so
Yes.
much.
Toodaloo.
Bye.